by 2027, ICE will be much more powerful than people imagine. I think they want to deploy the National Guard to all major cities in America because they're preparing for economic collapse, they're preparing for financial collapse, they're preparing for the national draft. They will need law enforcement and National Guard in all the major cities, especially in democratic cities like Los Angeles and Boston and Chicago, where they expect the resistance to be the greatest. By 2027, all the ingredients for civil war should already be in place. I don't mean actually, two militaries fighting each other, but I'm saying like nationwide discontent and riots and protests and insurgencies. Okay, so this is gonna be low-level conflict, but it's gonna be what the Civil War will look like for the next few years. Um, the global economy should have collapsed by 2027. So JP Morgan has reports saying that the world will run out of oil by the end of this month.
And that's because of the closing of the Strait
That's
of
right,
Hormuz.
because of the closing of the Strait of Hormuz. By 2027,
Hey,
ICE
Shalom,
will be
Shalom,
much more
Shalom.
powerful than
First and
people
foremost, as
imagine.
usual,
I
before I
think
begin
I
this
think they
lesson,
want
on
to
the
deploy
start
National
off
Guard to all major
by
cities
giving all the glory
in
and infinite
America
praise to
because they're
Yahweh, by
preparing
Hashem,
for
Yahweh Shah,
economic
by
collapse,
Hashem
they're
Kahat
preparing for
Das,
financial collapse, they're preparing for the
double
national
honor to the
draft.
elders and
They
the
will
apostles,
need
the
law
great
enforcement
millstone, who I'm taught and do learn
and
this truth
National
100%
Guard
from.
in all the major
Peace and
cities,
blessings
especially
be
in
to all you
democratic cities like Los
Wakim, who
Angeles
are serving
and
Yahweh
Boston
Shema
and
Shah in
Chicago,
sincerity, hoping for
where they
mercy,
expect the
as well as
resistance to
salvation
be
in
the
these latter
greatest.
days, man. To
By
you I say
2027,
Shalom and Yahweh
all the
Shema Shah
ingredients
Barakathum.
for civil war should
So the
already be in
title of this
place.
lesson is going to be
I don't mean
Man
actually,
Plans,
two militaries fighting
God
each other, but I'm
Mocks.
saying like
Alright, Man Plans,
nationwide
God Mocks.
discontent
Alright,
and
because the
riots
so-called
and
white man,
protests and insurgencies.
alright,
Okay, so
which
this is gonna be
he's
low-level
known as
conflict, but
the
it's gonna be
biblical Edomite,
what the civil war
right,
will
the
look like
nation
for the
of
next few
Esau.
years.
He has a agenda
The
called
global
Agenda
economy should have
2030,
collapsed
right, where
by
he basically has
2027. So JP
a
Morgan
plan to set up his New
has
World Order
reports saying
enterprise,
that the world will run out
his
of oil
mark of the beast
by the end
system
of this month.
by the
And
year
that's because of the
2030.
closing of the Strait of
That's right,
Hormuz.
because of the closing of the Strait of
And we know that
Hormuz.
he practices something called gradualism. Right? He doesn't just, enforce things overnight. Right? He basically sets up different, steps in psyops and different things of that nature to basically work towards his agenda. Right? Work towards to fulfill his agenda. Right? So he has a plan to basically bring this system in by 2030. Right? And we see things already. We see shit escalating to that point. Right? We see that this man is doing away with this system. Right? Everything is going digital. All right, digital this, digital that. They got everybody so accustomed to, using a swipe, doing shit just online, right? That's a part of his gradualism, right? He wasn't just gonna bring it in and have everybody hipped, you know what I mean? Because then he'll have more resistance than what he'll be able to control, which is why he's basically breaking down this economy, breaking this system down, right? Making people more desperate, so you're gonna be more vulnerable and more acceptable to taking and bow down to that beast system, man. All right. So the video that I played in the intro, which is you got to chew the meat and spit the bones. Everything that you see, ain't, just completely accurate, I'll say. All right. Some of the things, like I said, chew the meat, spit the bones. All right. Use discernment. All right. Brothers got to use discernment on these different, news sources and videos we see on TikTok. But nonetheless, through measuring the times diligently, just speculating through the spirit, I believe 2027, could, possibly be the year that shit starts to, pick up, right? Pick up to where it needs to pick up to, all right? Because it's not like, hey, the Lord got shit working, man. We've only been 5 months into this year, and we ain't even we ain't even finished the first half. We still got a whole second half, and we know, who knows, the Lord can really turn shit up the second half, man. All right, the Pesach just passed. Hey, we in a new year now, right? Truthfully, all right, and we know that the Lord, things start to get real spiritual during the Pesach and even after the Pesach because of the spiritual, symbolism behind it, man. All right, so with the Pesach just passing, the Lord, the Lord gonna start working, man. All right, and like I said, 2027, that's when I'm just speculating, and even in the video, some of the everything that he said pretty much made sense. Of course, some of the shit was, whatever, but some of the things did seem, spot on. With the draft of the Gen Z, pulling them at the time that they gonna pull them. All right, it's a lot going on, man. All right, the Strait of Hormuz being closed, it's affecting gas prices. Everything is expensive. Now, I say myself, this shit getting expensive, but call like your how about some outside. All right, because I seen something where in the year of March, or not in the year of March, but in the month of March, inflation that rose like 3.5%. All right, inflation is only gonna continue to escalate to hyperinflate. This shit's gonna get unbearable, man. Right, but that's when the Lord is gonna step in for bros, man. All right, but I want to grab this precept real quick. This is the book of Proverbs 27:1, because Esau can have it planned to do whatever the fuck he want to do at whatever time. All right, but the Lord can just disrupt that, step of plan that he had to work towards his system, where he just say fuck it and he just bring it in. All right, when he have no choice, he just go in panic mode, man. All right, because the scriptures say that he gonna be like a madman sparing none. All right, it's gonna get to that point where he gonna just say fuck it, where it ain't no turning back. He just might as well go ahead and go on with the deal, man. All right, it's gonna get to that point. He gonna be like Revelations 12:12. He gonna come down with great wrath because he know that he had but a short time. All right, he probably doesn't truly believe that, he's gonna go down quicker than what he believe, or he believes that he's gonna be, this man doesn't truly believe he's gonna go down. All right, because let me pull this real quick. Let's go to the book of Psalms 49. This is the book of Psalms 49:11, and it reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations, that they call their lands after their own names." All right, and they have it planned where they truly believe that they gonna fund this war. All right, they gonna cause all this chaos and turmoil on the surface of the earth while they gonna be in bunkers hiding out, and they think that when shit cools down after this a mass genocide on the earth, that they gonna rise back up and rebuild and have all the wealth. This is what the fuck they think. All right, but the scriptures say otherwise, man. The scriptures say that we gonna come down here and we gonna put their ass in chains, man. All right, that's what the Lord said, man. We gonna come down here and put your ass in chains right after we have that ceremony, man. All right, but this is how he thinks. This is what he truly believes he's gonna do, and they even put this shit in movies. All right, but the Lord is gonna disrupt that shit. Watch. Let's grab this real quick. Let's go to the book of Job 20 and 23. Job 20 and 23, it says, "When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating." So that just proves right there that the Lord is going to disrupt his shit. Right? Because right now, he got the dinner table, laid out. It's being prepared. The sheet is on the table. You got plates for every seat. All the seats are tucked in. You got the silverware. He got the what's that shit called? The sweets and all that. The desserts out. He bringing in the motherfucking pig with the apple in his mouth. The lobster. Right? He basically getting everything prepared for everybody to sit down and eat. All right. This is what this man is doing. right, in regards of his system, setting up his system. Right, he got this shit going, right? But when he set his system up, he thinks that he's going, fulfill it, and the Lord is going to disrupt that shit by sending Yahweh Shah back, man. Right, by sending Yahweh Shah back and taking his ass off the throne, man. All right. Job 20 and 23, it says, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fear of his wrath upon him and shall rain upon him while he is eating, right? While he is setting this thing up, man. Right? And he's going to have it set up partially. Right? In these different 15-minute cities, and he going to have it set up. Right? People going to be having that. You already got people that do have the damn C-hip. Where they go to work and they scan their palm. They go buy shit with their palm. All right, well, I think it's Whole Foods. I think Whole Foods, they bringing in another feature where, you scan it in your palm and shit. All right. So let's go back to the book of Proverbs 27 and 1, and it says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. All right, and this man, he's confident that he's going to do this by that time. All right, but the Lord is going to do something to make his ass bring that shit even faster, man. As we read this, the Lord, well, not read Salaki, but I think I quoted it. The Lord is shortening the days for the elect's sake. The days is already speeding up. All right, but just because you hear 2030 and whatever the case may be, don't no man know the day, no hour, but Yahweh Shema Shah. Let's grab that real quick. Right? And this is why, brothers, you know what I'm saying? You got to have some type of, I hope you got to have an optimistic mindset about shit hitting the fan a lot sooner than what we believe, man. All right? Because the scripture even say that our salvation is nearer than what we believe. All right? Shit, we believe, or I believe that 2027 could be the year, and shit, it could happen this year. You know what I'm saying? It could happen this year. Matthew 24 and 36, and it reads, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. All right, so the only one that knows when shit is going to hit the fan, right? Because in Habakkuk 2 and 1, everything is set for an appointed time, right? Everything has its specific time on when it's going to crack and explode and let things do what it do. All right, there's a specific time on when, shit gonna hit the fan and when the MOTB gonna be implemented. It's already written. It's already set up through the spirit. It just has to play out in real time. All right, but they have it planned to where they gonna do it by that time. All right, but they don't know them. This is why I say that shit don't matter. All right, you can hear 2027. You can hear Agenda 2030. All right, you can hear they plan on doing this by that time. Man, the Lord can make something happen to where it disrupt all that shit and make them do it even sooner. All right, that's how you got to think, man. Right, because the Lord is in control. The so-called white man ain't in control. Right, he doing what the Lord is allowing his ass to do. Right, because he's just the left-hand side, man. Right, the Most High is just using his ass to fulfill prophecy. It's already written that it's already written that he was gonna do this. He ain't doing nothing of his own will. So now let's grab Matthew 6 and 34. All right, Matthew chapter 6 and verse 34, and it reads, take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Because what's already written for the morrow is already written. All right, so when you read in the book of Job, I think it's the 27th chapter, the Most High said that the angel coming down and so within your instruction when you sleep. All right, when you sleep, it's spiritual. You know what I mean? You had dreams and visions, prophetic visions and You be having people who be having out of body experiences and shit. People be astro projecting, sleep paralysis. Demons come and fuck with you when you sleeping. All right. So when you sleeping, when you read the book of Job, an angel comes down and sows in your instructions. So there's nothing that, if you have something planned, this is why and everybody can attest to this. This is why you can have something planned for that day and something fuck it up, and then you gotta change plans. It happens all the time. You wanna know why? That's because you ain't in control. All right. What's already written is already gonna be planned out. All right. Ain't nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? To change what's already written, so to speak, man. So let me grab this last scripture real quick. Let's go to the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. And it reads, I'm going to start at 1 actually. It says, but of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So when a woman is finna give birth, man, when that water break, that shit is of a sudden, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't even think you can even predict that shit, even with Esau technology. I could be wrong, but I don't even think you can even predict when Eve is going, or women in general is just gonna break. You know what I'm saying? They water gonna break. All right. So it's gonna happen at a sudden. Shit. It can be a nice sunny day. Shit seem normal, and then the skies get filled with planes and jets and shit. You just see troops dropping out the sky, right? Or some shit get blown up. The whole grid get cut off at once. You just see the whole city, the whole shit get fried or something with an EMP. This is why our brothers also say prepare for a false flag, man. Right? Because you never know what's going to happen at a sudden, man. Right? But the Lord is in control of everything, man. Right? Which is why brothers shouldn't even really fear. Right? You shouldn't fear at all. Right? Because in the book of Sirach, it say that we will fall into the hands of the Most High, not into the hands of men. Because the Most High is in control, man. All right? So man plans and God mocks. Right? The reason I gave this lesson that title was because it can happen a lot more sooner than what we think, right? And just because they say 2030, that don't mean we'll be here to 2030, man. All right, but with that being said, I don't know, this lesson was edifying. Salaki if I rambled a little bit. Jake was really just rocking through the spirit. But I don't know, this lesson was edifying. And then my sacrifice was acceptable in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Ashah. With that being said, Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Ashah Barakathum.